I'm PirelliCarGuy. This is Adam Sifodaskalakis. I think I said that right.
Yes.
Today, top 5 domestic cars. Adam, what's the bottom one on your top list?
Ford F-150.
What do you like about it?
Well, it's a Ford to start. But, you know, #1 truck in America. Actually, I think it's the #1 truck in the world, is it not? It's definitely one of the best-selling trucks in the world.
When in doubt,
Google it.
Google it on your Apple device.
Or your Samsung device.
Anyways, next car on your list. Right above the F-150.
Another Ford. No surprises there.
No surprise.
Definitely going to have to say Edge. Ford Edge.
What do you like about that? Besides it's Ford.
Well, you know, that was the most recent car that my mother bought, which is what actually got me back into cars when she bought that. And it's a nice overall, it's very roomy. I love the panoramic roof. It's kind of a signature thing. You know, the newer ones have the My Ford Touch, which is fun to play with. It's nice, it's technological, which is good, something you like too.
That is true. That's something I do like.
And it's got enough power. The Sport Edge is even nicer.
Yeah. It's got 22s on it?
Yes, it's got the 22-inch rims, 300.
Rims, right?
Yes, black with machined, I believe.
Yes.
Those are pretty nice.
And then, so F-150 was your bottom of your top 5. Then the Edge. What starts out the top 3?
Ford Taurus.
Ford Taurus. Any particular model or the show?
It's got to be the show.
Show.
I mean, I like the Taurus in general, but it's got to be the show. It's practical because it's a 4-door sedan, but it's also really sporty. But the EcoBoost is economical, so at the same time you get that, and it's just nice to look at, which is always a good thing.
It is a nice car.
I love the black mesh grille.
Yep.
And the 20-inch rims that you can get on it.
Yep. All right, so that's number 3 on the list. What's number 2 on the list?
Ford Mustang.
Ford Mustang. What do you like about the Mustang?
Well, the Mustang's always been my dream car, so it's got a special place in my heart. It was almost my first car, actually. My mother wasn't going for that, and because I was under 18, I didn't have a choice. But
I can almost guarantee that I know what your #1 car is, but prove me not wrong.
if you were assuming Ford Fusion, you are correct.
That is what I was assuming.
Oh, and he knows me very well.
Why do you like the Fusion?
Well, it's got sentimental spots. It's because it was my first car, and it's also the car I currently drive, the new one. It just holds a special place in my heart. It's how I learned to drive. It's what I got my license in.
Yep.
And it's just my old one never did me wrong, and my new one's so far holding up to my expectations.
You've only had it for a month.
Yeah, but it's been a hell of a month.
It has been quite the month. So, I actually wrote down my list of my top 5 because I would never be able to remember because I love so many cars. And you'll be proud to know there are 2 Fords on my list.
Oh, I'm starting to rub off on you, I think.
Don't count on it.
Mr. European car guy over here.
Well, this is domestic cars.
Yes, I know.
If we were doing a world car, Ford and Chevy wouldn't even make the list. Anyways, rounding out the bottom of my list, the Dodge Charger, 2013 with the 8-speed automatic. It's a fantastic car. Sounds like a V8. Has the power of a V8. Fuel economy, 27 miles per gallon on the highway if you get the all-wheel drive. And in a car with 300 horsepower, that's fantastic.
And we did go look at those.
And there's tons of room. I'm Italian. I can fit 4 or 5 bodies in the back of that trunk.
And I'm 6'5", and I had no problem fitting in the car.
Exactly.
And it wasn't bad.
No, it's not a bad car, but it's still a Dodge.
Yeah, it's a Dodge.
Sorry, Dodge.
I'm not sorry.
Good note. The Italians, we own Dodge now.
Oh, that's right.
So,
Fiat
Dodge, you're doing the right things.
Fiat bought Chrysler. That's right.
Anyways, next on my list, on the number 4 spot, Chevy Camaro. I love the Camaro. Like the Mustang, like the Camaro, and like the Challenger, visibility sucks. Horribly. What Chevy doesn't offer, which Ford does, blind spot mirrors. I'm not talking like the fisheye ones you see the old people driving around with.
The little stick-on Pep Boys ones?
Exactly, the stick-on ones. I'm talking built into the actual mirror, which your car has.
My car has it. They're great.
Built-in blind spot mirrors, which helps. I'm talking SS Camaro, though. I'm not talking six-cylinder Camaro. SS Camaro, 400 horsepower for what the price you pay. It's a great car, and it's comfortable to drive in. Like it's a GT car. It's something that you can take on a road trip and be comfortable in. Anyways, I digress.
Oh, let's get on to your top 3 then.
That's right, top 3. Number 3 on the list, the F-150 Raptor. I love this truck. There's so much. I'm 5'7", so inside that truck, I look like I don't exist. That's how big this truck is inside.
You saw my little smile and dance thing there. We looked at one yesterday. Yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yes, it was.
Was it yesterday?
It was yesterday.
At Crowley Ford.
Yes, Crowley Ford in Plainville, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Little product placement there. But and I'm not a truck person. I know I rated the F-150 as my bottom, in my top 5, but I'm not a truck person. But that truck was fantastic.
I mean, when you think about it, the ground clearance it has. I mean, it's a truck, yeah, it's supposed to have ground clearance. But the suspension travel in the rear, I believe, is 12.1 inches. What other truck has that? Stock from factory.
None that I can think of.
12.1 inches in the front, I believe 11.9 in the, 12.1 in the rear, and 11.9, I believe, in the front. That's insane.
You're not going to scrape any curbs in that truck.
No. And the amount of space that is inside that truck, and not just the space inside the truck, but the space the truck takes up. It is just gargantuan.
Especially when you consider the normal F-150 is this wide. The Raptor's like this.
Exactly.
But it's
the Raptor's
great.
7 inches wider than a regular F-150.
Tell them about the lights.
You got the lights, you have the indicators, regular lights, but then you have the markers because the truck is so wide. You're required to have the lights, the marking lights, kind of like you'd see on a semi. The truck is gargantuan.
But at the same time, it's comfortable.
It's very comfortable.
And it's quite the looker.
And it's better than any Lincoln you'll buy. Because Lincoln,
Watch it.
suck.
Watch it.
What has Lincoln done? The MKZ? Oh my.
That roof.
The retractable roof.
And remember.
I don't even want to get started on it.
Yeah. Remember, the MKZ is the Lincoln version of my car, and I hate it.
Lincoln. What is wrong with you? Anyways, this isn't about what we hate.
It's not about Lincoln.
Trust me. It's going to be on my bottom 5.
Number 2.
Number 2. Mustang.
I think that's the only one we've agreed on.
Yeah, because you were number 2, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we both kind of agreed on the Raptor.
But the Raptor was lower.
Right.
On mine,
Well, whatever.
but we both put the Mustang at number 2.
That's
And it's above the Camaro, which is good.
For one reason.
Oh, here we go.
Gas mileage in the V6. 31 miles per gallon on the highway. Fantastic. Let me tell you, though, it almost didn't make the list. Would you like to know the one reason it didn't almost make the list? Let me tell you, live rear axle. That is horrible. I took a test drive of one this morning, and I could feel myself dying every time I went into a turn, and that live rear axle was there. Ford, you need to fix that.
They are.
Please.
They are.
I want this car, but I want a regular rear end.
Well, then you'll be buying a 2015 Mustang.
Maybe. Get rid of the live rear axle. All I have to say. Love the car. Anyways.
You're number 1.
Number 1, General Motors product. It's a fantastic car. Adam didn't like it. You like the smaller version of it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Mm-hmm.
He's more the sporty guy. I'm more the luxury mob guy. My number 1 pick was the Cadillac XTS. That's a fantastic car.
That thing is huge.
It is huge.
It's like driving a boat.
I love land yachts.
We looked at a Cadillac dealer. I prefer the ATS.
He likes the ATS.
It's very nice, small, sporty. If I had to buy a Cadillac and I could afford it, ATS.
And I'm going XTS. plenty of room, huge trunk, all-wheel drive, and you're still going to get decent gas mileage out of a 6-speed. It's not even an 8-speed. It's a 6-speed automatic. You get the all-wheel drive. Cadillac did a fantastic job of restyling that compared to the DTS and the SDS.
I'll give him that.
Those cars were absolutely disgusting. I almost bought an STS
Why?
as my first car.
Why?
I wanted a Cadillac. I couldn't afford a CTS, but I could afford an STS because nobody wanted them. It was fantastic. I hated it. I still hate it. It's still a Cadillac though. STS, DTS, horrible. XTS, ATS.
Not too bad.
Redesigned CTS. When I was at the New York Auto Show for the press days a couple weeks ago, they had the new CTS redesign. Fantastic car. So much nicer than the other one. Anyways, let's recap. So my list was the Charger at number 5. Number 4 was the Camaro, I believe, right? Yeah, number 4 was
He's
the
got
Camaro.
it right in front of him and he can't remember.
Well, because I don't have them in order. I typed them as they came to my head. Not that. So yeah, number 5 was the Charger. Number 4 was the Camaro. Number 3 was the Raptor. Number 2, Mustang. And my top car, Cadillac XTS.
And mine are all Fords, so.
Your 5 was the F-150?
5 was the F-150, particularly the Raptor, because that truck is just
Phenomenal.
a beast.
Beastly phenomenal.
But 4 was the Edge.
Yep.
3 was the Torch Show,
Yep.
particularly the Torch Show, yeah. 2 was the Mustang and 1 was the Fusion.
Well, there you have it. Ford, GM. Ford made the list a lot. GM.
Well, Ford only made the list because I'm here.
That's true. Ford.
But Ford made his list twice, which is really surprising.
Not really. Because I've always been a Mustang person. But I've always been a truck person.
And
He's a
that's
city boy. I'm a country boy.
I'm also a Ford guy.
True. Can't change that. I think that's all I have to say. I'm PirelliCarGuy. This is Sadafel Waffle. And this has been our top 5 domestic cars.